The opposition leader of Venezuela has been awarded this year's Nobel Peace Prize. The awards committee commended Maria Corina Machado for her courage in campaigning against an authoritarian government. She's become a symbol of resistance and the defense of democracy.
She is a face of Venezuela's opposition and now a global peace icon. Machado founded an NGO aimed at promoting political rights for people in Venezuela before entering politics herself in 2010. She has since become a champion of freedoms in a dwindling democratic landscape. She was banned from running against Nicolas Maduro in last year's presidential elections, which international monitors dismissed as neither free nor fair. She has mostly been in hiding since then. Experts say Machado's new heightened profile will make it harder for those inside Venezuela who want to silence her voice.
Well, the director of the Norwegian Nobel Institute called Maria Corina Machado to tell her that she had won. I want you to take a listen to that emotional conversation.
Am I talking to Maria Corina Machado?
Yes, this is Maria Corina.
Yes, Maria Corina. My name is Christian Berg-Arpviken. I am the secretary of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo. And I'm calling to inform you that in a few minutes it shall be announced here at the Nobel Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
So the warmest congratulations to you, Maria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I have no words. Thank you so much, but I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just one person. I certainly do not deserve this. Oh my God.
I think both the movement and you deserve it.
Wow, we're spellbound there. Joining me here at the big table is our DW correspondent, Oscar Schlenker, who used to be based in Caracas. He is now living here in Berlin for the time being. It's good to have you here in the studio, Oscar.
It's good to be here.
I mean, it was hard not to just watch and be mesmerized by that phone conversation. Why was the Norwegian, why was he so emotional?
Especially seeing a Norwegian so emotional about giving the news. But you have to understand also that Norway knows very well the struggle of the Venezuelan opposition, because they were part of the mediating team between the peace talks back years ago between the opposition and Venezuela, not too long ago. In fact, last year, or this year, in June, they published a report saying that the reason why those talks failed, where they mediated, was because they were dealing with an authoritarian regime. And today, as they present the prize to Maria Corina Machado, they call it a dictatorship. So they are very well aware of the movement of the Venezuelan opposition. And as Maria Corina Machado says, it's an achievement of society that despite all of the violence that the Venezuelan people have seen, the opposition has maintained a peaceful resistance, and that's what she's representing today.
Machado, she is in hiding right now, correct? I mean, we don't know where she is. I'm wondering, this news about the Nobel Peace Prize, could it be a big boost for her movement, and could it possibly save her life?
Definitely. I think it's a safeguard for her well-being. She is currently in hiding. She's been in hiding for over a year, since last year's presidential elections that are considered by many nations to have been stolen by the Nicolas Maduro regime. So it definitely is a safeguard for her. And it emboldens the movement as well, because many people in the opposition have fallen silent. We have an immense persecution against the opposition. There's over 800 political prisoners in Venezuela right now, many of them from Maria Corina Machado's political party. So it definitely raises a voice and puts a focus on Venezuelan opposition. I think they feel seen today.
Mm-hmm. I want to read out a tweet that Machado posted earlier today after she had found out the news. And we're going to pull that up so our viewers can see it. And she says, this recognition of the struggle of all Venezuelans is a boost to conclude our task to conquer freedom. We are on the threshold of victory, and today, more than ever, we count on President Trump, the people of the United States, the peoples of Latin America, and the democratic nations of the world as our principal allies to achieve freedom and democracy. I dedicate this prize, she goes on, to the suffering people of Venezuela and to President Trump for his decisive support of our cause. Why did she make a point of thanking President Trump?
Well, I think it's very strategic and very smart to do so. Many people want to speculate and pit against Machado and Trump because of the Nobel Peace Prize. But we have to understand that Machado and Trump have been allies for quite some time, since the first Trump presidency, in bringing a regime change in Venezuela. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, Maria Corina Machado said that this presence of military, U.S. military in the Caribbean is necessary for regime change in Venezuela. And they've gotten a lot of support, not only from other governments in the Caribbean, but also from many people outside of Venezuela, many Venezuelans that have left. I mean, you have to understand also—
It's a big diaspora now, right?
Yes. Yeah. In the past few years, it has been the biggest migration in history of South America, with over 9 million people that have left the country because of the situation in Venezuela. And today, many of those Venezuelans that are outside of Venezuela are celebrating this prize as well.
Donald Trump accuses Nicolas Maduro of being a narco-state terrorist who makes money in drug trafficking to America. Would she want U.S. military help, intervention, with the aim of regime change? I mean, would she want to be able to come to power with the help of the power of the Pentagon?
Well, I don't know if she wants it. I mean, that would be very speculative, but many think that she needs it. You know, this prize is very great in a step forward to a regime change, or to a change in perspective, or to focus on the Venezuelan opposition movement. But it doesn't guarantee a regime change as is. And it brings a lot of challenges as well, because Maria Corina Machado is faced now, if there is a regime change, not only Maria Corina Machado, but the Venezuelan people are faced with military that has been accused of being narco-terrorists and a large crime organization that would need to be purged at some point.
Oscar, unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you for coming in the studio. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're now joined by Ana Corina Sosa, daughter of Nobel Prize winner Maria Corina Machado in the United States. So, on a personal level, as her daughter, what was your reaction when you heard that your mother had won the Nobel Peace Prize?
Thank you for having me. It was a very emotional moment. Of course, the first reaction was of excitement and, ecstasy, and congratulating her, feeling a lot of pride. But very soon after that, it was quite emotional, because it signifies a recognition of the struggle of Venezuelan people and of my family, and especially my mother, for more than 20 years, that has been filled with sacrifice and a lot of risk and a lot of bravery. But ultimately, I am immensely proud of her and feel privileged to be so close to someone that I admire so much.
Now, what do you think this recognition represents for Venezuelans living under repression and economic hardship?
It is a confirmation that our fight is not just within the boundaries of Venezuela, that we are fighting for a universal cause, for human dignity, for respect of democracy, for the reunification of millions of families. And I want your viewers to remember that the Venezuelan crisis has displaced almost a fourth of the population, more than 8 million people in the last years under the Chavista and Maduro regime. So it reminds us that the world is watching and that our cause is a noble cause and it goes beyond the boundaries of Venezuela.
Yes, the award certainly has shown a light in Venezuela again. How exactly do you see this award influencing the morale and unity of the opposition, especially after last year's disputed election?
I mean, last year's election was a monumental moment in our history. That more than 70% of the people, despite the risks, the intimidations, and all the mechanisms imposed by the authoritarian regime, millions of people went out to the polls and voted decisively against the dictatorship of Nicolás Maduro. So that was a clear mandate of last year that the Venezuelan people want change and they want them out. So this is certainly injects hope, energy, and trust that we are close, that what we do matters, and that the world is watching now more than ever. And we are very close to the end of this very dark part of history in our country.
Now, your mother dedicated her award to Donald Trump, and they even spoke on the phone. What is she hoping to achieve by developing closer ties to the American president?
Look, we are in the same region, and we want the same for our hemisphere. And it is a secure, safe, and stable and free region, both in North America and Latin America. So the objectives are aligned, and they're both leaders of the world that want freedom and safety for their people. And it is, of course, of great significance that the government of the U.S. and the American people understand and support the cause for freedom in Venezuela and understand that this is not a political issue. It is a humanitarian issue, and it is an issue that affects the security, the national security of the United States and the stability of all of the Americas. So, of course, it is important. I understand why she celebrated and acknowledged the help and the attention that this administration has given to our fight.
All right, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. That was Maria Corina Sosa, daughter of Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.